Alright guys, it's November 9 today. We are going to go ahead and get this John Deere 2750 over here unhooked from the manure spreader. And then we're going to hook it up to the bale chopper if time permits today. If not, we will work at that on Monday. But yeah, we're going to unhook it. We're going to power wash it, and then we're going to get our 7420, our cab tractor, put on the spreader for the year. That way we can have heat when we're spreading manure all winter. And then we can start chopping straw again in the heifer barn for the winter. So, let's get to it. This tractor needs cleaned pretty badly. Alright, I got it unhooked. I'm going to give it a quick bath real quick. I have not washed this tractor since May. So, stayed pretty clean up until 2 weeks ago. Then we got a little bit of rain. It's made a little bit of mud, but yeah. Also, when we planted some triticale, I ended up spilling a bunch of seed back of the tractor here. So, be nice to get all that cleaned up. There you go, all washed up. Nice and shiny. So, yeah. Get it in the shop and we'll do an oil change. But that looks a whole lot better. Calcium tube on this side has just been leaking and eating away at this rim. This one's too far gone now. The other side's still alright. But at some point, we will have to get a new set of tires on this tractor. This side's wore down quite a bit. But they're just your standard 18 4x34 tires. Firestone Field and Road, they're pretty good. Tires, they've lasted 8,900 hours. So, probably at around 9,000 hours or so, or 9,500. We'll have to throw a new set of rear tires on here. I'd really like to go with another set of Firestones just because they last. This tractor originally came with Goodyear tires on the front, and now we switched over to BKT, and they're alright, but you can just tell, in my opinion, they aren't as high of quality. There's actually two different tires on the front of here too. It gives me a little bit of OCD. But yeah, originally we had Goodyear tires on the front of this tractor and they wore out. But that's what we got. But yeah, these ones certainly will not last as long as the originals. But yeah, there you go. Alright, I got 7420 over here unhooked from the turbo till. You can see we still got the 1000 RPM shaft sticking out the back, so I'm gonna get it flipped over. Alright, a couple of days have passed now. It is November 14. Finally have a little bit of a break from college homework. There's still a little bit I could be doing right now, but I really want to go ahead and get working on this 2750 here again. So, I'm going to go ahead and get it fired up, pulled into the shop, and we'll do an oil change. And we will grease it. It got below freezing last night, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a cold start out of it. Well, I guess in the end it wasn't that cold anymore. It's warmed up a little bit today. But it's good. Okay, we'll get this thing pulled in the shop. And there you go. It's all of the oil draining out. Put a new filter on, put the drain plug back in, and fill it up. I'm just gonna go ahead and grease this tractor real quick while the oil is still half draining out. So, got my grease gun here. I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and do that. Alright, oil is back in this tractor. Topped off the hydraulic oil. Got one more thing left to do on it. I'm going to tighten up this fan belt here. You can see it's loose. I'm just going to tighten it up. It tightens on the alternator here. So I've noticed it's been wobbling a little bit while we've been running it. I figured while it's in the shop here I'd do it. I don't know why it got loose. The water pump is still good. So, just going to go ahead and tighten that up. Alright, I got it all tightened up. Now, there's still a little bit of looseness in it, but you do want that in a fan belt. So, we're all done with this tractor. This tractor has to go on the bale chopper for the winter. So, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to that, and then we have a little bit of work to do on the bale chopper. Gonna grab our bale chopper, sitting in the back of the heifer barn here in this pen since the dry cows have been out on pasture all summer. Alright, I got the bale chopper out of the heifer barn. I noticed I'm gonna have to work on it. That's why I'm not a fan of electrical. See, this here corroded, and there's supposed to be 2 outlets in there. Well, one of the wires decided to pull out, go on here, get all mangled up, so I'm gonna have to work on this. I don't know. The heifers also got in this barn and managed to knock this. It's not a big deal at all. And we also had to put a new set of knives in here. So I'm gonna try and fix that wiring harness myself because I have not had too good of luck lately getting parts for this thing from our Kubota dealer. This is our last piece of Kubota equipment. And when I ordered a set of knives, it was last summer. It took a really long time to come. And I only got half the amount I needed. So I went online and I ordered the next set of knives. So I have a full set now. Actually, I have a little more than that. But Now I have knives for it, but I don't want to call them and try and get a wire harness because I know it'll take forever to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and try and fix that myself. So we're going to pull this into the garage. Look at all that fun little bit of corrosion going on in there. To get that cleaned up. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Alright, I went ahead and ordered off the internet a brand new plug for here. It's 10 bucks. It's not worth my time messing around trying to make something work that can still be waterproof. But I would not be able to get the door down without some electricity through here. So I just took a piece of electric fence wire, stuck it in the plug there, stuck it through there to make contact. So I could turn on the panel to lower the door to change the knives. So, a little bit of a hack job there to make that work. But now we're able to get back in here to work on this thing. So, yeah. Hopefully that plug comes soon. I just ordered it off Amazon. It is a European plug because this is a European machine. It was initially made by Neverland, so that really doesn't help us getting parts. But yeah, that one box of knives is from Kubota, and the other box is aftermarket. So hopefully it works out. The aftermarket knives are slightly different, but they have the same bolt pattern, so I'm not too worried. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead, cut off all that twine, and then put new knives on. Alright, we got our first knife pulled out. You can see this is it here. And these are our two knives. This is the knife from Kubota, and this is the aftermarket knife. The aftermarket knife cuts the same distance out but has a little less metal on the back. But that is fine. So I'm going to put all the Kubota knives on one side working this way and all the rest on the other side working the other way. And then we'll be able to compare in a year or two of how they wear. Alright, I fed cows for the night. Before chores, I changed out one row of knives in this chopper out of 7. So 6 out of 42 knives. I'm going to try and do another row or 2 before. Gotta go home for supper. But we'll see how it goes. The first row is the slowest, just figuring everything out. So hopefully I can just kind of zoom right along here. Get them all hammered out. So, yeah. It would be nice to finish tonight, but I doubt I will, because then I wouldn't have to leave the tractor sitting outside. The shop isn't big enough for the tractor to be in here and the bale chopper door to be open. I am able to get the tractor in if I shut the door, or with that garage door shut, if I shut the bale chopper door, and then do a little bit of cleaning up of some stuff. But yeah. So, this shop was built 32 years ago, and my grandfather built it more as a place to store kind of seed and a couple of his cars versus working on stuff. So, it's not as big as I'd like it, but we work with it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and keep changing out knives. Alright, it is Monday, November 18 now. So, spent the morning doing tests. It's now the afternoon, back here in the shop. So yeah, I had a bunch of tests I had to do for college this week, just because I hadn't gotten to them all yet. So, figured I'd go ahead and do them all before they were due, but had a lot of test questions to get through this morning, so I spent quite a few hours doing that. So, I am back over here in the shop now, ready to work on this bale chopper, but it's been a couple days. I didn't get in here on Saturday to work on it, or any other time or Friday or anything. But you can see I got a couple of rows of knives changed out. I'm just going to quickly finish this. I did already go ahead and grease this, so we're good to go there. I noticed it's not too common, but there were a couple knives in this Bale chopper that were not put in the right way. I've never put a set of knives in here, but it must have came that way from the dealer. And I forget which one it was, but you can see one of these, the knives are actually ticking. It was digging in. So I fixed it and I put it the right way. But I'm going to go ahead and finish changing knives. These knives are reversible. You can see, if I get one out, you can see how we've worn down this side. You can flip them and wear down the other side. Just going ahead and putting new ones on. But I will keep some of the old ones that are a little better. And we will switch them out, but if I line them up, a little tricky to do. You can see we have actually worn past kind of the tip here a little bit, so in my opinion I can flip this around the other way, but it won't be as good as a new knife. It'll save a little bit of money, but I will be 7 knives short from them all being brand new, so I'll take the best 7 and I'll put them on here on the one end when they're flipped the other way. So the sides, if you think about it, of the Bale chopper will get the least amount of use, because this drum in here is slightly wider than a round bale, versus the middle will always have a bale by it, because you can put a bale in here and it might not use these knives, or it might not use these knives. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Change them all out and find the best 7 and put them on this side. And there we go. That's the last of the knives put in. These ones are flipped. There's 3 new ones on this side as well. I had 3 more than I thought, so I went ahead and I put them in. There you go. That's all the new knives. I'm gonna clean up all of my tools in here now, and then I might dig out all the straw in there just so that's clean. Then I got a couple chains to tighten, but I already greased it, so I don't have to do that. And for future reference for myself, that's the part number for the knives aftermarket. This is the part number for the knives from Kubota. That's still a Neverland box. But there you go. Something that's helpful to know. So often I look back and watch to see what I've done or to find something. Did that just the other day. Something we were working on in the back of the barn. Alright, there you go. It's everything all cleaned out, or mostly cleaned out. Just some loose stuff in here. You can see I lowered down kind of these things. Now the idea behind them is that now the straw will be chopped a little finer. It makes the knives work harder. Takes a little bit more horsepower too. But then you don't get big slugs going in that plug the blower. So I think we'll leave them down. Yeah, some nice fine dusty straw in here, but it'll be very absorbent, so we're good there. So we're all done inside of here. I do still have to tighten the floor chain up in here, but after that we'll be good there. And there's one chain down there I have to tighten. There you go, I got the chain tensioned up. Still has a little bit of play in it, but that's kind of what you want from an apron chain. This chain's kind of weird how it's in a way like a logging chain, like our manure elevator. Anyway, there's that. So the last one I gotta look after now is under this cover here. There's 2 more grease fittings here as well, but I want to get this chain tightened up and oiled. Alright, we're using the straw topper now. It's Wednesday night. We had a small issue with it kind of half plugging up and it being stuck in between low and high range. It's pretty common for this thing to plug up a little bit, unfortunately. I remember when we got it and it was brand new, the second bale through it. The sales guy was here and we plugged it up, handed me the tool to unplug it, and I remember teasing him, saying something along the lines of, you know it's going to be an issue plugging when they give you a tool for it. So, it's a little bit disappointing actually that it'll do that, but I don't know. Seems to work more often than it doesn't, but yeah. When we bought it, if we had a bigger budget for it, we would have bought something a little different. I wouldn't have bought a Kubota. There's a number of other brands out there that are just a little bit better, but this is what we got, and it sure beats forking. So we just have to live with the issues as we get them.